I started in the system as a corrections officer.
Donna Como has been here on the front lines of this debate, working for both Colorado state prisons and the Crowley private prison.
From my personal experience, state facilities had lower assault rates. State facilities had lower incidence of staff turnover. State facilities generally have a better level and a better degree of programming and opportunities for rehabilitation for offenders.
Are private prisons more violent? There is no standard reporting system to compare violent incidents in private and public prisons. But several years ago, the Justice Department published an astonishing report. There were 49% more staff assaults and 65% more prisoner assaults in private facilities.
Is there a difference in safety between working for a state facility or a private facility?
When I started brand new in corrections in a state facility, it was a little scary. But after about a month, I finally figured, it didn't take me very long to figure out that no matter where I went, there was somebody watching. There were always eyes. So you didn't have that huge fear. You always have some fear working in that environment, but I didn't have a huge fear.
What's going on for you right now? How come you're getting upset?
It makes me angry.
What does? Tell me.
Well, in a state facility, you don't worry about getting hurt. But in a private, you better worry. You better worry.
Como was so worried that she reported serious security lapses at Crowley to her superiors. But then she began to worry about her own safety. One day in 2003, she was sent to remove a dangerous prisoner from his cell. And when she called for backup, nobody came to help, she says, leaving her alone and unprotected for half an hour.
When I left, I sat 28 minutes with no responders, with a volatile inmate and a brand new staff member who was scared, so he took off down the tier on me.
Donna Como quit in 2003 and sued the Corrections Corporation, saying she'd suffered retaliation and sex discrimination after reporting security violations. She later settled. But one night in 2004, a major prisoner riot blazed through Crowley. Some of the overwhelmed guards ran away, and outside law enforcement had to put down the uprising. A state report later found that the facility was not fully staffed and didn't follow fundamental security measures. Inmates were angry over bad food and inappropriate use of force. Low pay contributed to a high staff attrition rate. And in an industry where years on the job can literally teach you how to save lives, newly hired, inexperienced staff were left to deal with an explosive mix of inmates from 3 different states.
For 2 or 3 hours.
We wanted to learn more about the private prison industry, so we signed up for the winter conference of the American Correctional Association in suburban Dallas-Fort Worth. The nonprofit association accredits both public and private prisons, sort of like giving them the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. But it also promotes the corrections industry and provides a meeting place for state and federal officials and the companies that want a share of the $55 billion the government spends on corrections each year.
There it is, it's blinking at me. I can silence it, I can shut that door, and I'm back to a normal operating condition.
The exhibit hall is part carnival, part trade show for what's openly called the Prison Industrial Complex.
The launcher is extremely easy to operate, extremely accurate. Load up to 6 rounds, pull the trigger, pump movement. You can even do sights on it, so you have a less lethal prisoner containment application.
This is free, faith-based, rehabilitative television.
But the biggest displays were from the private prison corporations. Cornell, the Geo Group, formerly known as Wackenhut, and the giant of the industry, the Corrections Corporation of America, which runs the 5th largest penal system in the country, managing 72,000 inmates in 65 facilities. Business has been good, Last quarter, its revenues were up nearly 11%, and it posted a $35 million profit.